different ways. Sometimes by own business, opening Fielmann stores in these countries, or also by buying companies. They are very similar to our philosophy. Our philosophy is you are the customer, so it's very important for us to be customer centricity is a very huge topic for us, and they'll be searching for companies that are very similar. And since 3 years, we are also going to the US, interesting new market, the biggest one in our industry. Yeah, and our industry is mainly two topics: is the optician industry for one side, and the other side is the hearing acoustic industry. So both topics are very near together because people, they need glasses, especially if they are older. They also most of the times need hearing aids for a better hearing. Our purpose is to help the people to hear and see the beauty in the world. So that includes both of these topics. And in the last 2 years also came out add-on a kind of, I would say, health business, because our business is very between medicine, between handcrafting, and between fashion. So, and especially this medicine topic is one of the most expanding topics in the last years. It's a new option for us to also develop our business in another way of working, to bring our customers other services to help them to fix a gap in our medicine industry. And I would say in whole Europe, it's very hard to get an appointment for an eye doctor. So there we can help by an eye check. We call it eye check, and you can make it during a normal eye exam in our stores, and then you get a result if there's any problem or not. And if there's a problem, you get a fast lane to an eye doctor. So that helps to compensate. I would say the middle waiting time is between 2 and 3 months in the German-speaking market, for examples, and there we can help our customers to fix this problem. So that's so, and roughly our business core. It's a very traditional business, I can say. In the last 100 years, the kind of how do you buy a pair of glasses? Our core topic is glasses, prescription glasses, never changed. So it's anytime the same. You go to a store, there's an optician. Sometimes we have an eye exam from eye doctor, or they make an eye exam in store, and then you get a consultation, which kind of frame and which kind of glasses do you need, and then in the end it will be produced, and then you can pick it up, and then you can see better. So that never changed over 100 years. And in the last, let's say, 10 years, there come more and more interruption in our business. Like in other industry, you saw a lot of changing during digital. In fashion industry is interrupted. Or all the other parts of retail business change much faster than our industry. It's going a little bit slower, and there are a lot of topics they drove these interruption, especially technology. Technology is the core for interruption in our business. There are a lot of topics we have to solve in the last years. And we did it with a big part of AI also included, that we can maybe speak later about it. And also the platform topic is very important for us. On that two view of points. First one, the internationalization of our business. That means if we are globally, then we need also a lot of global services and could not build it in any country again and again and again. We need central services, but we need also special activities and special solutions for country, from a country perspective, because optician business, I would say, is in 80% the same, but in 20% is very special per country, driven on 2 points. First point is regularic. There's a lot of countries where you can make an eye exam, for example, in an optician store. That's no problem. Like in Germany, for example, it's easy. Any optician with an education for this eye exam can make these exam, but in some other areas like UK, for example, or Australia or so on, there you have to have an exam from an eye doctor. So it's kind of the governance regularic. And the second one is kind of insurance topics. Our business is very near to medicine, so that means a lot of areas. I know also in France it's a big topic. A lot of French people getting their glasses via an insurance. The same as in US. 80% of the US guys buying their glasses due insurance they're getting from their company, for example. No? It's a kind of benefit getting an insurance for eyes and for glasses, and so we have to play this game. No? And it's also a lot of entrance barriers for other companies to go in this industry. They tried it a lot in the last, let's say, 10 years. No? Like also Amazon is starting the business for glasses in Germany. And yeah, we can see it's not so easy. And a lot of the, let's say, pure player online started companies also changing to a more driven omnichannel business. No? Because in our industry, it's not the kind of fast buying goods. It's more like it's service orientated. It's 4 or 5 step buying process. So, and that makes not so easy to go in. And for us, it's the challenge to organize this business also in the digital way.
Yeah. So it's more than a short wrap up about what Fielmann
Yeah,
is doing,
sorry for
but
that.
it's a great introduction about what you're already doing. And one point you mentioned earlier at the beginning was about your ecosystem thinking. So this is also what we try to bring to companies. As you described, Fielmann started with optics and hearings, but then you expanded your perspective. So you took a broader perspective on the market. So it's not just a niche, kind of a niche you are in. It's more about the broader market of health. And with this broader perspective, you also see new opportunities to grow with the insurance and maybe the appointments with the doctors and stuff like that. So you see more and more opportunities of adjacent topics you can bring to your core business, and then the market for yourself grows. And you also mentioned about platforms as a driver for internal efficiency, but also a driver maybe for creating e-commerce and growth externally. So this was something what happened in the past. So let's have a look into the future, or the current status and in the future. So how do you see what are the current challenges of Fielmann right now? So how to further expand? I mean, looking backwards always looks good, but looking forward, you mentioned there are a lot of topics coming up with AI, with speed of change and whatever. So how do you see what are the current challenges of a company like Fielmann going forward in the next 5-10 years?
I would say we have a lot of challenges. They are very similar to other traditional companies. No? How do you say in the past, and then I say in the last years, we changed a lot in our infrastructure. So to be prepared for the future. What does it mean? Most important for us is don't buy any monolith systems like in the past before. No? Monolith systems, they are involved in our business right now, and we have some also running. No? It's not changed anything, but we're working on. And the systems are very stable, and they're making their job, and they're making exactly what they have to do. But for any new influences and any new changes in our business, we have to be more flexible. And we decided some years ago to build up we called it omnichannel platform. And because I'm not so the nerdy IT guy, I can describe it maybe in my own business or marketing words. For me, it's like a Lego brick system. We have a plate, and we have a lot of different smaller, bigger own build or byte modules on this platform. And we are, it's very easy for us to change something, much more easier than in the way before. And that's exactly the kind of working style we implemented in the whole company. And you can imagine it's a process of years, no? A transformation, especially in a very established company. It's not only on the people side a big challenge, it's also on the technical IT perspective a big change and a big challenge. And what we did is we decided to be very open on different ways. First thing is that we decided to implement very fast new technologies on our platform, because the backbone there is right now ready, and we can implement solutions that we decided to don't build by our own, because they are ready from the market. I will give you one example. very interesting for us is to find similar models to a frame. No? It's one of the challenges any optician has in our stores to say, hey, customer saying, I like my model I'm wearing, or I like your ones you have on your face. It's, by the way, it's the reason because any of our opticians wearing frames or glasses, also if they don't need it, because it's the entrance for any consultation, because people are not so good in deciding what's their style, especially for glasses. And if they're saying, okay, I like this one you are wearing, do you have similar ones? And then it's not so easy to find similar items because there are a huge range, 100,000 maybe of frames available, and to find the right one. And there we decided to implement a technology from an Israeli startup they call Sight AI. They're using AI for, I would say, like Google Lenses. It's similar to Google Lenses. No? You can upload a picture, or you can use it also for recommendations. They're scanning all our frames and giving us similar items by form, or also by color, for example, or by size. No? Size is also a very huge topic for glasses, because any head is very different. No? Some people have smaller, bigger heads, and not any frame is fitting on your face. And this helps us to totally reorganized our recommendation systems for online, but also for in-store we're working on, so that we're helping our customers and our employees to give them the right experience to the customers. And that's a decision made. We could do it by our own. No, we say, hey, there's a solution in the market, and together with the startup from Israel, we find a way to develop these technologies coming from the fashion industry, also for the eyewear industry. Eyewear is a little bit harder to detect on the face, but in the end, they find a solution. And right now, we have a very easy way, and we could implement it very easy, and we can change it. If they're coming a new, better solution from ourselves or other companies, we can switch it in days. So that is the point how we thinking the platform solution. On other topics like measurement is the core of our business. Measurement is very important for us, and the way, because it's important, is coming from these kind of differences on any faces and heads. So it's like if you're buying a pair of glasses, there's one big challenge. Anybody of us, Matthias, you too, and Natalie, you too, and me, we have different combinations of nose and ears. So on this combination of nose and ears is the baseline for the fitting of a frame on the face, first thing. And second thing, if you integrated the glasses, because any pair of prescription glasses is a combination of two products. So that means it's an individual product. Nothing, Eric's glasses is the same from anybody. So it's anytime different. And the combination of frame and glasses is important for how good can you see through the glasses. So, and this kind of technology is very important for us to make it for all the, would say, distanced selling parts, or maybe if people starting their journey online by trying a pair of glasses, how they fit, and then they go to a store, make a kind of click and reserve, and finishing the process in our stores. And this technology is so different to anything what is existing, so that we decided to develop it mostly by our own, but also in cooperation with other companies. There's also bigger companies in the world. We make collaborations to solve these solution topic. And right now it's finished. It's also AI-based. It's interesting because AI is right now in everybody speaking about, and it's using it since 2 or 3 years, I would say. For us, it's a topic minimum 6 years ago. We're starting with large language models for developing for measurement technology. And I remember a short episode on the coffee machine some years ago. There stand a guy and asked me, hey, what are you doing? And he's saying, yeah, I working for, I'm programming large language models. And I think, what the fuck is this? I don't know this. And it was very interesting to see how special guys you have in the company over years. And right now it's a very big topic, so that we're expanding also the AI topic in more areas right now.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to hear. Especially what you said about the modularization. So you use not the platforms only to sell things like a marketplace or whatever, but also you build it in a modular way, so you can plug in and plug off some new modules, and you can try out things, etc. So especially with the AI topic.
Yeah, but we're also very open, Matthias, for corporations, also with external via our platform. I will give you one example. For us, as an mainly brick and mortar player, or I would say omnichannel. Omnichannel is our DNA because we don't decide between the channels, but people can decide where they want to buy and which steps they want to be online or offline. Doesn't matter. In the end, it's only important if they are happy and they get the right product. So, and for us, very important is to bring our data from our stores to different platforms. Because if you decided to go to an optician, what you are doing? Sometimes you are using Google Maps, or using websites with the data from the stores, or also your navigation system has to be the right perfect data about a store in real time. So it's very important. If there is coming a holiday, anybody saying, oh, when they are opened, they are closing at 6 or 7, or maybe at the early afternoon or so on. And this data has to be in the right way, in the right time there. And so there we're using a lot of spreading data. We're using here a service called Yext. It's an US service, and they spreading our data via our platform to several, I think, 35 different players using our data. It's very surprising for me first time as I started these. It's not only Google Maps, it's a lot of more systems you have to provide.
I had a question on the measurement topic. Is that also a brick? I mean, you mentioned the brick for the looks and then the measurements. So every capability that you're offering is a brick on the platform?
Yeah, exactly. We try to slice it in the smallest way it's possible, and especially this measurement technology is also, I would say, an overview topic, and under this topic is a lot of different measurement topics for different KPIs or capabilities you need. One example is the pupil distance you need for a pair of glasses. So this one you can use for several cases. First one for these kind of centricity of the glasses for producing a pair of glasses, but also for filtering to find the right item for your face. If you remember on what I say, that any face is different, and big and huge sizes or smaller sizes, and there you can use also these PD measurement KPI to filter the 100,000 of frames to maybe the 100 they are ready for your face. Because my one, for example, is very small. I need frames very near to child glasses. So sometimes I'm very happy if I don't have to go through 1,000 of frames. I click a button and they're making the detection of my face and finding out the pupil distance. And then the result is, here are the maybe 20 frames, they are fitting on your face perfectly.
And coming back to your AI topic with the measurement, and I mean, I can imagine how it works online. So people go to your website and then they get a kind of advisory on what kind of frames, etc., based on the measurements. So you have the camera on, they measure your face or maybe your head and stuff like that. But you also mentioned it's now implemented in your store experience. So when your in-store employees advise the customer, how does it work together? Can you maybe describe it a bit more? So how does the experience work for the customer?
Yeah, I think the first point is that the technology base, what we actually right now having in our stores is very similar, sometimes the same we're using for online. In the past, we have big machines in stores for these measurement topics. Right now, we're using tablets in our stores, and the technology is also on the iPads. So this doesn't matter where the customer is at home, doing it by themselves, or if an optician is doing the same topic in store, like this measurement for preparing the glasses in the frame. This is a very important step, because you have to view in the middle of the glasses, and sometimes you see it in my glasses right now. I'm looking more in the higher topic of my frame. So it means the glass is getting higher and is slicing here. So in these kind of measurement is the same if I do it online or if I do it in store. They're using the same technology backbone for this. And more, that's more the future stuff where we're working on right now, and we tested it actually, is to combine the consultation processes from online and brick and mortar. So we're saying there's no differences from both perspectives. No? If you remember online, and I'm working since over 20 years in the e-commerce industry for several players and several kind of products. What we teach the customers online is to click here, to click here, to click here, and to click here, to click 20 or 30 times before you have a product in your basket and you are finished. You never will accept this in a physical store, because it's a seamless consultation process. And there we thinking a lot about how we can combine both worlds. So that brings us to a result that we're saying, hey, we have to build the consultation process, including all the features and topics we are talking about, like measurement and recommendations. And there are a lot of more like VTO, for example. No? It's important in both worlds. If you try a pair of glasses, yes, you can do it physically, but you don't have any frame in store, no? Because stores are sometimes smaller also, and then you have only, I think, in the middle 2,000 frames in any store. But there's a lot of more assortment. And if you have a black one on your face and say, oh, I like it, but do you have other colors? Maybe I like a yellow one also on. Then you can wait some days if they getting it standard from a logistic part, or you can try it on in store virtually and having the same feeling like wearing the yellow one, for example. But you physically have the black one on your face, and we can erase the color. So that's one of the topics we are working on actually right now, to bringing these worlds stronger together. The second thing is in an omnichannel perspective of our business, we see a lot of, I would say, people, they switching their customer journey from one way to another way. Actually, right now, we know 70% of our customers having contact with our digital services in front or during their buying process in store. So that means these like kind of searching a frame in front of, trying at home. It's much more easier than to be in a store, and there's a lot of action in store, and it's not so easy for you for decision making, for example. But then they're expecting, I want to have the frame if I come to a store. Maybe we are an appointment, for example. They say, okay, I can reserve 3 frames, and if I make an appointment, I expect that they have the 3 frames there for me, that I cannot try it physically again, or I can make also the consultation for the glasses. No, it's not anybody needs the same kind of glasses. We're working outside, need another kind. If you are older, you have not only single vision, you need more progressive one, for example, or that people are preparing at home. And on the other way, it's also an example. You can say I'm in store and make the whole process, and then in the end, could not decide me because I have to ask my wife also on it. It's a very normal case that men especially saying, oh, I have to ask my wife before I buy this frame. I like it, but I have to ask her. And then they're going at home and want to close the journey at home. It's also possible and very easy. So these both topics, or these omnichannel topics, and bringing the technology also in both channels and also in the mixed experience, brings us to a decision to say it's one stream. We have to develop one stream, and it has to be, I would say, a seamless consultation process. And the customer decides on which point he is jumping to another one. So it doesn't make sense for us to say, you have to do this only online and you have to do this only in physical in store. The customer has to decide. And that's exactly the changing in our industry right now. And you can see this very good in other areas of the world, like Japan, for example. They have a similar problem like we have in Europe. They have not employees and educated people. They can work in your stores. It's also a big problem for us. It's not so sexy to be an optician right now, like maybe 10 years ago or so on. There we have the same problems like other industries. And in Japan, it's much stronger, and they are more technical affine to topics. And they switched also in store, I would say 80% of the process to digital. So people going in Japan through the store, scanning anything and doing their stuff in store on their smartphones. And they have only one touch point maybe for a fitting topic with an optician in the end. It's 5 minutes or so on. The rest of the process is going direct and digital in the hand of the customer. So, and it's not a difference between do it in store or do it at home. It's the same experience.
Yeah, it depends a bit on, I mean, this is the overall customer journey, but in the customer journey, you have different types of customers, right? So you have elderly people, younger people, digital natives, non-digital natives. So depending on how much digital they want to have this experience, they can have it. And one wants to have 95% digital, and even when they walk in the store, try it out with the smartphone, and not. And the other ones are more like, I want to have 95%. And
that's a big challenge, Matthias. That's a big challenge to you have these kind of all customers, especially in our business, and we are, I would say, the market leader in our core market, so that we have it from a child up to old people, and we decide, hey, it's anytime possible to do it pure offline. It's no problem. No? We will offer these journey anytime. So it's possible. No? You can go to the store, doing nothing in front of. But more and more people, also driven by the pandemic, for example, no? Like this appointment topic. 5 years ago, appointments were not a topic in our industry. No? But then in front of Corona, we are ready with these technology part to offer these. And right now we see it's a huge topic for us. It helps us also for our biggest problem. It's more a luxury problem. We have too much customers, I would say. It's sort of waiting time in our stores. And through these different services we offered our customers, we can reduces by 50% in the last years, this waiting time topic. So, and that's also important for older, for example. No? They adapt appointments much more than I imagined before. No? I thought, okay, appointments and QR code scanning, like it's not so easy for older people. But through the pandemic, it's like my dad is learning scanning QR codes in days, and right now he has to have any QR code and he's scanning it. So it's very easy. He's 73. So and there we see a lot of switching in these. Yes, but I'm totally with you. You have a huge bunch of different experiences you have to offer for the customer. That makes exactly the challenge. No? So that it's not so easy. But we believing in watching on the seamless on the whole process, making it easy for yourself, by doing it by yourself, or educated and guided by an employee. So, but also the employee can use these technology parts for make it more faster, better, and have a stronger quality.
Yeah, so zooming out again a bit. So you mentioned a lot of topics. So just to kind of put it into a kind of a structure. So one thing is this whole digital transformation you have done in the past is now helping you. So now you you transformed maybe, or you build your platform in a modular way, and this modularization with microservices and services, you can now enables you now to try out services, turn on, turn off, and so this is one thing, doing your homework in digital transformation, preparing also your technology backbone to be ready. And with also having a kind of a platform strategy enables you also to have a digital experience. And you also mentioned that the ecosystem thinking, and what we call it a functional integrated ecosystem. So you integrate more and more kind of services in a way that it creates a seamless experience for the customer. It doesn't matter what they want. It could be classes, it could be hearing stuff, it could be insurance, could be appointments, whatever. So more and more kind of those services now come together. And now even you can try out AI services and maybe other things. And you also mentioned, is you are not always inventing all this stuff by yourself. You're also partnering with companies. So you observe the market. Is there an interesting solution out there by a startup, by another company? Then maybe we can partner and maybe integrate this, and it further enhances. Or maybe it turns out after a year or whatever, it was a nice try, but was not really accepted by our customers. So maybe you can turn it off. for me, this also symbolizes that in a high pace environment we are in right now, with a lot of new innovations coming in and stuff like that. So you cannot always invent everything by yourself. You need to look broader. You need to look for partnerships. And you are also the director of digital innovation. So maybe you can also a bit of describe how do you see the digital innovation strategy of Fielmann. So, I mean, we learned a bit of what you are doing right now, but it's more from an e-commerce perspective. But also, how is your digital innovation strategy at Fielmann? How do you see what is required and to stay ahead of the competition in the future?
Because we're speaking about AI, no? I think AI is for us actually right now a very important part in our innovation strategy on several perspectives. I think first one is I would say the first step of AI is to making your processes better, more efficient and faster, for example. So that we decided to choosing AI technology first, if we can. So that's a clear order we gave to all our departments. If you're choosing or looking for a new solution for any topic to make your processes more efficient, look first on AI solutions. For this one, we established a venture clienting area to be ready for starting very fast with startups, for example. That's a new kind of working for us. And the second thing is with AI on top on the measurement topics that we see that, for example, programming is changing dramatically, or in the positive view, it goes faster than any time before. So that we decided also in our core topics where we have the finger on where we not decide to implement a solution from the market maybe, that we will switching more and more to AI programming. Actually, now we have a lot of testing right now, and for me, it's amazing if I see this how fast it could go. So now you don't have to wait 2 weeks for a sprint. Right now you can see it in real time in 10 minutes or so, and you can in the result of an request you made maybe also direct via a prompt. So that also changed the kind of people they have to programming. No? In older times, we have also classical structures of digitalization teams, no? Product owner and developers and so on. But now we see, especially for our core business coming from brick and mortar, that we need more people. They are in the business and they can prompt in the right way, and they maybe need only a little bit support from the side to have some guidance also on. They can be the new programmer in a lot of topics. So that is for me a huge step in innovation, changing what we're doing in the company. And I can any day to my work and be surprised of new options they are there. No? I think any 2 weeks is a change in Gen AI topics, and for us very important to integrate it.
One of my colleagues said some days ago, he believes that in the future, the key skills are you need to dream and you need to ask. Something like prompting. So something AI cannot really do. So you need to have a kind of a vision. You need to come up with a kind of a dream. What do you think is required, or what do you think will be there or will be needed in the future? So you can kind of dream, creating a vision, but then you also need to translate it into pieces so the AI can maybe support you. And exactly. What you said with the prompting. If you
AI is getting more
skill. It maybe
no?
Takes also longer.
AI is getting more skill right now. No? That's exactly the topics I see here. No? And to find the right people, it's very important for us actually right now to doing exactly what you are describing. No? Can do this. It helps us to be much faster. And that's very important to understand the business. And so my experience is to find people also from the brick and mortar stores to bring them in these new kind of technology. it's a very efficient way, much better than to find people from the digital organization to bring them in the business. So that is for me one of the biggest changes we made in the last, I would say, months or weeks.
Yeah. And maybe a bit of coming to the end of our podcast. So how do you see the future of the whole optics and hearing kind of industry or market? So how do you see it further evolving?
For me, it's very clear that the omnichannel way is the right one because we see it in indications worldwide. And because of these educated employee problem, also worldwide, we see more and more digitalization in-store processes and switching between both worlds, so that we will come in, I would some years to more showrooming in the stores than we can see it today, bringing more self-made features also in store to save time and make it more efficient also for the customers and then also for us as a provider for solutions. And the second thing I see as an development step in the industry is these bringing medicine or health together with the classical parts of opticians and hearing aids. No? There's a big area of topics we can going in because of there is an issue in the markets, no? And it's not getting better. If you see on the medicine topics in Europe and also US also on, you can see there it's going down by having solutions for the customers, and then we can fix some topics. And there's a lot of areas where we can go in. Actually, right now we go in these eye health area, but I see more potential in this way to other medicine topics, for example.
And anything about sustainability? Because, for example, I've seen there's quite a few glasses provider who now propose some frames that are made out of whatever.
I'm wearing one here. This one is a recycled one. It's a huge topic. I think there's a lot of more topics like also smart glasses also on in the market. They will come in the next years. But the sustainability topic is an important one, especially by our customers saying, "Hey, we wish us more sustainability in these kind of products." And we heard this and we made it. How you say you can recycle frames and you can use also biological materials, for example. No, there are a lot of options. We're working here together with some different companies. They offering us material because we're producing also frames by ourselves. And I see also for the fulfillment industry and a huge topic, no? Also for B2B. We're sending a lot of frames from our facilities to our stores using paper-based topics. And right now there we are testing a lot of sustainability solutions. Big topic, more a baseline topic for me right now. Interesting is anybody wants, but nobody wants to pay for. No? So that's very interesting to see how does it works. But maybe in the future, I have two daughters. They are 13 and 17, and for them it's much more important than for older people, for example. No? And I think in the future we will see more of these kind of solutions driven by customer wishes. Yeah, but a good question is very important. Yeah.
And maybe you know the movie of Ready Player One, or you have heard about the book.
I'm a big fan. I read the two books, and I know Mark Zuckerberg is giving the book to any employee to read it. And I like also the movie. Not anybody is liking the movie, but I like it. Yeah, it's a vision. It's a vision exactly what we will see. Any big tech company on the world is working on this topic. From Amazon up to Apple and Meta, anybody. You can make a big list that anybody's working on and investing billions of dollars any year in this topic. For us, it's sure also a topic because it could change, could disrupt our core business. If anybody's wearing in the future kind of smart glasses, then nobody needs a normal pair of glasses. But we are not... we decided to don't build our own because we could not invest this big kind of money. No? It's we are, how do you say, a niche provider with our industry. But what we decided is to going in these smart glasses area by providing services. And for example, we bought a company here in Germany, they are the market leader, or they were the market leader for B2B solutions, because in the B2B area, like logistics or automotive industry or so on, they're working with smart glasses since 10 years. And they're providing the software for this. And we are right now partner if anybody needs prescription in. So if you see the Apple Vision Pro, if you want to wear it, and Natalie has to integrated glasses in to, or me too, to use it. And there's another topic. We invested in a startup. They have a kind of, I would say, app provided glasses. You don't have to take normal glasses. It's more like a kind of plastic, smaller topic, and then you can give the values via an app in, so that you can use it and you can change it by an app and another person can use it. Very interesting topic for the smart glasses industry and all the big players. And right now we invested in a company, they have this solution. And now we are sitting on the table together with big tech companies. They don't will ask, hey, you are an optician, you are the biggest one no, we are the third biggest one in the world. And they don't say, hey, who's the biggest one we can speak with? No, they're saying, hey, who is expert in the technology and who can provide these experience and working with us together. It's a huge topic for us, especially for the future. And my perspective is, especially coming from AI in the last 2 years, is that we will see in, I would say, 2 up to 3 years, the first ready one you can buy to a good price, and then 5 years ago, nobody knows what will happen in the whole industry.
Yeah, interesting outlook. I also like the movie, and it could be inspiring, but on the other side also sometimes scary. So people come at home where there are smart glasses, and then they go into another world, not a physical world anymore, but then they are really diving into a digital world. Now they look at their smartphones or iPads or whatever, but they look at the screen. They're not fully in, but with the glasses, you can really dive into the world, and then you are in a limitless world out there.
It's an interesting philosophy discussion in the end, but I think from the technology perspective and from the business perspective, we are very in step off. So that means it will come.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we covered a lot of great topics, and it gives us a big picture about the optics industries, the hearing industries, and about what you are doing at Fielmann at the moment, and how innovative you are. So it's thank you for all the great insights. And but you are also a leader in the leadership position. So when you maybe look a little bit back, what you have learned in the last years, is there anything kind of an advice you would like to share with other leaders out there, and think about, this is what I kind of learned, which really helps me to see it a bit clearer, which kind of maybe guides you in your decision making as a leader, as an innovator, in your position?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of learnings in the last years, but one is, so for me, the major one, because my vita is coming from a pure digital perspective. Now, I worked a lot for pure e-commerce players in the past, founded by myself, also companies and so on, working over, I think right now, 25 years in the digital industry. And as I started at Fielmann and having these omnichannel perspective right now, I found out that we can develop a lot of cool feature services for our customers. But the main topic is how you bring it in also in the stores, and how you catch the people in store, the employees, for example. And my rule is right now, I would say 20% is developing of new services and coding, 80% is rolling out and teaching the people in store to be productive and efficient. And that I learned very strong. We have a lot of topics in the beginning of my career at Fielmann here, where we tried out and find out, okay, it doesn't work, especially by this way. And then we switched it to start it very early with people from the stores. We integrated them in the teams. And right now, if we rethink on the topic, we talked about AI. Right now, I believe totally the new product owner could be very easily people from our stores, and that will make this much more efficient, because they know their business. They know their business much better than I could do it. I can help them to make it, but that's my biggest learning. Involving the people. If you have a brick and mortar business, if you have an omnichannel business, it's mainly driven by brick and mortar, and you have to involve the people, and you have to calculate the time for this. It's the strongest learning.
Yeah, this is also what I heard from other companies. Sometimes they have this 10-20-70 rule or 20-80 rule or something like that. So 20% is about technology and 80% is about the change and bring it
Exactly.
to the world.
Yeah. I think this is also true with AI, because everybody's running around scared that AI will replace humans. But at the end of the day, AI is also an IT tool that if you know how to use it, then it can make you more innovative, efficient, whatever else. To me, that goes in the same.
Yeah, I think we came to an end with our podcast. Stefan, thank you very, very much for all of those insights and sharing the stories with our audience. Yeah, for us, it was also eye-opening to learn more about Fielmann. So thank you very much for joining and sharing.
Thank you very much for the invite and for the nice talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yes, for our listeners and viewers, we will put all the links into the show notes. So if you want to learn more about Fielmann, but also if you want to sync with Stefan, we will put the LinkedIn contact into the show notes so you can reach out to Stefan, and maybe Stefan will accept your invite and then you can follow up with him.
I do my best.
Thank you very much.